As the majority of you waits for the kickstart of a brand new squeaky clean domestic season, of course, focus right now is pointing to the international scene, and we've got the Nations League coming at you with a Matchday number 1, part 2, and all the latest picks. Let's get into it. Right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we're taking a look at Matchday number 1, part 2 of the UEFA Nations League, boys and girls, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Nations League related, Blackburn Rovers related, World Football related. We're going to all hear under one Ruski. That's right, boys and girls. So yes, of course, yesterday we took a look at Matchday number 1, part 1. Today we're taking a look at Matchday number 1, part 2, including the likes of Norway, the Dutchies, Slovakia, Scotland. Of course, they're all in here, boys and girls, over the next couple of days. And then before we jump into the deep end and take a look at all that, I want a big shout out because over the past couple of days we've had 2 new Patreons, boys and girls. Woo! Respect to the VIP gang. We have now got 16 Patreons. Respect to, of course, Jack Wiggins and his mucker Jack Flipping Holmes. The 2 Jacks are back and they are supporting the channel in the way that they do. So respect to those guys. They join the illustrious VIP gang that does include Dylan Goddard, William Shepherd, Ultra Omamura, Elgin Cow, Bianca Molnar, Daniel Meller, Cody Cahoe, Joachim Johansson, Nathan Heaver, Tom Clark, John Sperm, Russell Foss, and Aztec Marky Mark. Respect to the guys. I do appreciate that. I really do. It does make my day. It puts a big old smile on my face and it does kick the channel on another level. And if anyone else was to jump in and on board, there is a link down below, patreon.com/RoverC. So respect to those guys. I do appreciate it. It really does kick on the channel. Anyway, let's talk about it. The Nations League. Now, I did mention this yesterday, so if it sounds like I'm on repeat, I just want to make sure, because if nobody saw that one and they want to see this one, I'll tell you about the Nations League and how it all works and all that kind of jazz. I ain't no expert on the Nations League. It's like a flipping Rubik's Cube. I really don't. But there is, of course, it's been introduced to eradicate all the irrelevant friendlies and kind of have your nation compete up against fellow-sized nations to kind of kick on and generate a bit of healthy competition that has a bit of a meaning to it. Of course, Portugal are current holders. They've got a bit of silverware and it will go on their mantelpiece for here on in. But of course, now there's the new, they're hopefully going to come back to defend their title for their sake. But there's also the small matter of how this applies to the World Cup qualifying campaign. Well, that will still exist, a separate beast. 10 groups, I think they'll be decided later on this year. The draw will happen maybe after the conclusion of this. And those winners will go through to the World Cup. And then I think the third best teams that come out of the Nations League will have a second shot at it or something like that. I don't know. There is some information here on the official website. So read that, pause the screen and divulge yourself. But anyway, that's that. Let's jump into it. And then, of course, take a look at the Nations League, boys and girls. Here I am. I'm down here. That's right. Shrunk myself down a little bit. So we are talking about the nations that are going to be taking place there. Matchday number 1, part 1, or part 2, sorry, on the Friday, September the 4th. So here are some of those nations in their respective groups. We have Bosnia-Herzegovina, Italy, Netherlands and Poland that are represented. League A Group 1. Also in action, Austria, Northern Ireland, Norway and Romania, which is aka League B Group 1 as well. Also in action on the Friday will be Czech Republic, Israel, Scotland, Slovakia. That's out of League B Group 2. And also in action, Albania, Belarus, Kazakhstan and Lithuania. That's League C Group 4. Now this is Matchday number 1, part 2, when we'll have the conclusion of this group. Or at least, we'll be back again for match number 2 with these respective nations. And once the results of this bad boy come in. So make sure you stick around for that bad boy. And of course, I want to tell you about the flipping prediction league, boys and girls. We're going to have prediction leagues across all the major domestic leagues out in Europe. We're talking about the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the Championship, and of course some lower leagues out in England and Scotland. We've got Scotland that's already active, of course, but we're going to be dipping our toe into the Nations League. It's something we're going to look forward to when the Euro 2020 comes around, and that might be a little bit of a beast too far. It might actually be too crazy to do, but we'll give it a shot. But the Nations League, yeah, come by each and every match day. So if you missed yesterday's one, get in there, get your predictions in nice and early, and of course getting your predictions in nice and early on this bad boy in the comment section, and then I will do the maths, I'll do the homework, and I'll come up with a prediction ranking sort of thing, who's got what right, and the percentage. And at the end of the tournament, if you have the highest percentage, you'll be crowned king or queen of the Nations League here, prediction king or queen. So make sure you stick around, and there'll be some merch, there'll be a t-shirt or something, or I don't know. I'm working on it. It's been never ending so far. So get in the comment section with your predictions for this match day, and I look forward to taking a look at them then. So let's jump into the deep end and take a little look at the games that are going to be kicking off on the Friday. So we're going to start off with the Dutchies. The Dutchies taking on, who are they taking on? They are taking on Poland. Over the years, these two nations have played each other 15 times. There's been 6 victories for the Dutchies, 3 wins for the Polskis, and 6 draws. The last time, according to my knowledge, that these two nations locked horns was in 2016. It looked like it was a friendly, and the goal scorers were Victor Janssen and Jorginho Wijnaldum for the Dutchies in a 2-1 away win over Poland. Arthur Jajanic on the score sheet for Poland, and back all the way back in 2000, there was another result in favour of Holland. 3-1 win over Poland in the end. So it is over in the Dutch lands, of course, and I do expect them to be the favourites in this League A Group 1 match. The bookmakers will go with it as well. I'm pretty sure of it. 20-11 on. The Dutchies are the favourites. 11-4 is your draw. 11-2 is your away win. Of course, there's still the small matter of who is going to be the manager of the Dutch national team. Of course, Koeman has left. He dropped it all, and decided to swan off down to the Camp Nou to manage Barcelona, babysitting job for a year or so. I think it's the wrong move for him, to be honest with you. There should be no other honour higher than managing your country, especially in a year like this, a year that COVID's been around, causing all kinds of problems. He's got a chance to do very, very well, do one better than the Dutchies did last time around in this competition. Of course, go even further in the Euro 2020 next season. Of course, it's a bit of a kick in the bollocks as well, especially if you're Dutch. I think I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed if my main manager just dropped everything to swan off. But again, on the flip side, if you want to talk about the other side, it is a once in a lifetime opportunity. He could do absolute worldies in his one and only season, but it looks like he's walked into a rat's nest over there. Anyway, for me, I'm going to go with the Dutchies regardless of who's going to be the manager. I think they'll have enough quality in there, and I just hope that the morale keeps going despite the managerial situation. Next up, though, we have the Italians, of course, back into the spotlight once again, taking on Bosnia-Herzegovina this coming Friday. These two nations have played each other 3 times, 2 wins for Italy and 1 win for Bosnia over the years. And speaking over the years, the last time these two sides locked horns was back in 2019, just prior to the Euro 2020 qualifying campaign coming to a conclusion. It was a 3-0 win for Italy over in Bosnia. Francesco Acerbi, Lorenzo Insigne, and Andrea Bellotti on the score sheet for Italy. It's actually been back-to-back wins for them as they beat Bosnia over in Italy as well, back earlier in June 2019. Insigne and Verratti on the score sheet with Edin Dzeko on the score sheet for Bosnia. The bookmakers on this bad boy, they'll go 3-1 for Italy. Red hot favourites 3-1 on. 4-1 is your draw. 15-2 is your away win. To be honest with you, I think Italy are on the rise right now, and I think they're going to do very, very well in this competition, especially in this group. They're going to be either first or second. It's between them or the Dutchies, and Right now I'd go with the Italians on this one, purely because of the mayhem that's going on with the manager over at the Dutchland. So 2-0 win for Italy for me, to open up the campaign with a win. Next up, we move over to Norway. They're going to be taking on Austria this coming Friday. These two nations have locked each other's horns 10 times. 2 wins for Norway, 7 wins for Austria, and 1 draw between the two nations. Now, the last knowledge of an encounter between these two nations was back in 2002, and it was a 1-0 win for Norway. Pa Murdu Kar on the score sheet. That was all the way back in November 2002. Of course, Norway right now breathing. They've got a wealth of exciting talent. Of course, Haaland, one of them. They've also got that Ostergaard, I think, fella from Real Madrid. I think he's Norwegian. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, they've got a wealth of youngsters coming through, and I think this is a chance for them to reclaim past glories, or at least reclaim dizzy heights in the old FIFA ranking system, and again, get themselves in contention for at least promotion out of this League B group. The bookmakers, Austria as well, have got some talent as well. Of course, David Alaba at the back. Now, these two sides locking horns. The bookmakers will go with 6-4 for Norway, 9-4 is your draw, 9-5 is your away win for Austria. That's tight in the old bookmaker schemes, and for me, it is too tight to call. But I'm going to give it to Norway, of course, at home. Again, no fans there though, but still, I think I think Norway winning this one at home will then just make Austria even more hungrier to win the game when it comes back to Austria to get sweet revenge again. So next up, we have Romania against Northern Ireland. Of course, Northern Ireland under new managerialship, and again, I think it's kind of a little bit iffy one for me. I'm not too sure if I'm convinced with the new manager of Northern Ireland, but hey, You know, I could be wrong. Anyway, these two nations locked horns 6 times over the years. 2 wins for Romania, 3 wins for Northern Ireland, and 1 draw. Romania, of course, way back when, back in the 90s, early noughts, were pretty decent. They had Georgi Hagi and co, Petrescu, Dan Petrescu, all the legends of the Romanian era. And then they kind of went off the face of the earth a little bit. But now they're on a bit of a resurgence. They're on their way back again. And I do expect them to be quite competitive in this group. And again, to compete alongside Norway and Austria. It's a very tight group. I think all 4 of these nations can win and come out themselves out on top at the end. And again, if you win out on top at the end of this campaign, you get promoted to the big boys, Anyway, the last 3 encounters between the two sides sees 2 wins for Romania, and 1 draw, and no wins for Northern Ireland. That's right, they did lock horns back in 2015. It was a 0-0 draw. However, the last time played in Romania was in 2014. It was a 2-0 win for Romania. Paul Papp with a brace for Romania, and the last time played in Northern Ireland before the draw was back in 2006. It was a 2-0 win for Romania as well, back to back. So 3 games unbeaten in the last games between these two nations. The bookmakers on this one will go with Romania 6-5. They are the favourites. 9-4 is your draw. 9-4 is also your away win. So Baraclough, opening day rust, I think, to kind of shackles on his ankles a little bit. Got to shake off the old hoodoo of McNeil. Or O'Neill, sorry, to come out on top on this bad boy. But unfortunately, I think Romania will get the edge. And again, as a home banker, you would go with the home side, the majority on this one. The lack of fans can be a bit of a sidebar, and could be something that may strengthen a nation, whereas you probably wouldn't do usually. Especially on a level playing field like this. But I think Northern Ireland, again, just like Austria, will be thinking about the return leg when they're these 2 lock horns over in Northern Ireland. Next up, we have my boys, or one of my boys, Scotland. They're going to be taking on Israel again. That's right. Over the past few seasons, they've locked horns quite a few times. They played each other 5 times over the past, of course, time. Scotland winning 4 of them, Israel winning 1 of them. However, the last couple of counters were in the Nations League as well. So they've been familiar foes. And of course, last time around in Scotland was a 3-2 win for Scotland as well. Forrest with a hat-trick back in 2018. Barami Kayal and Urian Sharevi on the score sheet for Israel. And last time played in Israel was a 2-1 win for Israel. Was that right? Is that right? Did they not play each other in the Euros? They might have done, you know. Yeah, they might have done. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, these two sides locking horns again on the Friday. The bookmakers will go with Scotland 5-4 on red hot favourites. 12-5 is your draw. 15-4 your away win for Israel. Of course, Scottish Premiership is already up and running. They've got the wheels in motion. The dust has already been removed. They've cleaned the pipes and all that kind of jazz. They're up and at them. They're moving, and I do expect them to get another win against Israel to get themselves off to a fantastic start in their group, which also includes, bloody hell, Slovakia and Czech Republic. A tight old group for Scotland here. Now, these two sides, of course, formerly one nation, now divided. Slovakia taking on Czech Republic in Slovakia. Now, these two nations have played each other, believe it or not, 12 times over the years. 3 wins for Slovakia, 7 wins for Czech Republic, and 2 draws. The last 6, though, have seen 2 wins for Slovakia, 3 wins for Czech Republic, and 1 draw. The last time that these two nations played was in the Nations League as well. It was a 1-0 win for the Czech Republic. Patrick Schick over in Czechoslovakia, or the Czech Republic, probably Prague. Meanwhile, the last that played in the Nations League was in Slovakia. Was a 2-1 win for the Czech Republic as well. Schick on the score sheet, Mikhail Kemerik as well. Marek Hamsic on the score sheet for Slovakia. So back-to-back wins for Czech Republic, looking for a three-peat. In fact, Slovakia just winning once at the past 5 games, stretching all the way back to 2009. The bookmakers will probably see that and read that. 8-5 for Slovakia for the victory. 23-10 is your draw. 30-8 is your away win for Czech Republic. It's a tough one, this one, and I don't know where I'm going on this one. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Czech Republic to open up their campaign with a fantastic start. Again, I think they were in the same sort of group as England were last time, and I think they might have been relegated in the 3-man Nations League. That was, of course, a year or so ago. Next up, we have Belarus taking on Albania. Now, this one's going to be an interesting one. Now, these two nations locked horns 5 times over the years. 2 wins for Belarus, 1 win for Albania, and 2 draws. The last 5 matches, though, those 5 matches, the last encounter was a friendly. It was back in 2013. It was a 0-0 draw. However, the last time I played in Albania was a 1-0 win for Albania. So they're actually unbeaten against Belarus in over 10 years, or give or take 10 years. But Belarus do have the superior record against these two nations. 6-4, your odds for a Belarus victory. 11-5 is your draw. 9-5 is your away win for Albania. I like Albania. I think they're a decent sort of. I like them in regards to their football. I think they're a decent side. They do seem to have some very talented players, and I think I'm going to edge them on this one with a 2-0 win to get their campaign up and running. running against Belarus. And finally, we have Lithuania taking on Kazakhstan, everyone's favourite. Now, these two nations have played each other just the one time, and that was back in 2014. It was a 1-1 draw. Can't separate these two sides. With the goal scorers, everybody's favourite Lithuanian, Lukas Spalvis on the score sheet. I think he is from Kaiserslautern. I don't know where that knowledge has come out of, but I think he is. And then the goal scorer for Kazakhstan is everybody's favourite Kazakhstani, besides Borat, is Nurbal Shamalshashkevich. That's right. That game took place back in 2014. So this one will take place on Friday, the September the 4th. And we have 6-4 for Lithuania for the odds. 11-5 is your draw. 9-5 is your away win. And that means it's very, very tight. It could go either way. Very, very much so that I can't separate too much size, but I'm going to give it to Kazakhstan. Oh yes, Kazakhstan will take the victory and get themselves up and running with their opening day free points. That, my friends, is what I think will happen in the old Nations League Matchday 1 Part 2. Be sure to get your predictions in the comment section down below so you can enter the prediction league for the Nations League, boys and girls. I will be back tomorrow for Matchday number 1 Part 3. And then, of course, once all the games have been completed for each and every one of the respected groups, we'll be back for Matchday number 2, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3 over the next few days. So it's going to be a week of Nations League drama. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. Again, make sure you get predictions in nice and early. And before we bounce out of here, be sure to give the video some love. Smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe if you're new as well. Bottom right hand corner, somewhere down there, somewhere. And of course, if you want to go with that extra punch and want to become a patron of the channel, an executive producer, once I start with the rolling credits, your name's going to be in like every single video, even the small ones. You'll be there. You'll be there in dizzy old lights, boys and girls. So check that out. Patreon.com/Roverseas for as little. Nathan Heaver knows the price. It could be as little as $1 a month if you want to go that extra punch. Do appreciate the love for the patrons, all the VIP, the Sweet 16 that they are. And again, if you want to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, I'm quite vocal on Twitter, especially Rovers related and also other football related as and when it sees fits. Until then, though, we'll be back tomorrow for the last one of this match day, and then it's on to match day number 2. Until then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.